everybody, and welcome back to my doll collecting channel. And today I'm going to be sharing some ideas that I have for the American Girl Disney Princess line. Now, for those of you who don't know, I love the American Girl Disney Princess line, but recently I was thinking about some other ideas when I was making my Dream American Girl collabs video that I posted about a week ago. If this video gets released on time, after creating that video, I came up with some ideas that I wanted to see in the Disney Princess line. But if they did this, they would have to call it like the Disney line because these characters are not Disney princesses. So first is Lilo from Lilo and Stitch. Who doesn't love Lilo and Stitch? Like, be for real. Lilo and Stitch is one of my favorite Disney movies, and I really loved it since I was a kid, and I feel like a lot of people are in a similar boat. A lot of people love Stitch, a lot of people love the movie Lilo and Stitch, but if you ask people, like, what's your favorite Disney movie, or what's the most popular Disney movie, people wouldn't say Lilo and Stitch. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like in a weird way it's underrated, but like, we should be more obsessed with Lilo and Stitch than we are. Like, yes, there is some Stitch things, especially recently with the new movie coming out, lots of Stitch things in stores, but like people love Stitch, and you don't see it as much as I think we should for how much Stitch is loved by Disney fans. But it would be really cool if they released a Lilo doll from Lilo and Stitch with a little like Stitch toy, like a stuffy or something. That would be Stitch. That would be so cool. I would love that. Would I get it? Maybe. I would consider it. If it was part of the play line, I definitely would consider it. The collector line, you know me, I avoid the collector line because I live in Canada, so the prices are ridiculous when you translate them into Canadian dollars, so I avoid the collector line at all costs. I don't have a single collector doll in my collection. The next doll that I think would be super popular, like super duper popular, if they release this doll, even though she's not a Disney princess, is Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland, I think, is one of the most popular Disney movies. Like, I feel like it has kind of this strong fan base of people. Like, you don't, like, if you're a fan of Alice in Wonderland, you're not just like a little bit into it. Like, you love Alice in Wonderland. And there's a lot of people who love Alice in Wonderland, including myself. Alice in Wonderland is one of my favorite Disney movies. For the longest time, I said it was my favorite Disney movie. Now I've been saying Frozen, because that's probably the truth. I love Frozen. But Alice in Wonderland probably is like my second favorite Disney movie. So if they released an Alice in Wonderland doll, I would be so happy. She would be in my cart right away. I do technically have an Alice in my collection, but she is just a custom doll that I made based off of the book Alice in Wonderland. But I wouldn't mind having two Alices in my collection because I love Alice in Wonderland. And you know what? I'm going to show you my Alice doll just in case anybody hasn't seen it. So this is my Alice doll, and she's actually my very first American Girl doll ever. My first 18-inch doll ever was my Maple Leaf doll Taryn, but she was my second 18-inch doll, first American Girl doll. So this is what she looks like. I made her outfit. The tights, I think are from a porcelain doll, and just black shoes from the Springfield collection from Michael's from years ago. She has a black bow just because it kind of matches her shoes here, and then she just kind of has this vintage cameo necklace, which I thought was just really cute. So like, she's not based off of the Disney movie Alice in Wonderland, even though her outfit kind of looks like that. She is based off the book character. So if they did release an Alice in Wonderland Disney doll, I would get her as well, and then I would just have two Alices in my collection. But I love Alice in Wonderland so much. Speaking of Alice in Wonderland and classic Disney films, another classic Disney film that has a big following and lots of people who love it is Peter Pan. So why don't we release a Wendy doll? I know Wendy is one of those characters. She is not as popular as Alice, but people do really like her. And I could see a Wendy doll. I know she would be really adorable, and I know the dress would be so cute. She would be so cute. Am I a super fan of Peter Pan? No. Is there some things I really like about Peter Pan? I love Captain Hook. Like, that's, like, I love the Captain Hook character so much, and I have since I was a teenager. So I do like Peter Pan because of Captain Hook, but I don't know if I would get a Wendy doll, but I do know that it would do really well. People who like American Girl probably would really like Wendy as well. If you're a fan of Wendy, leave it in the comment section below. I just feel like the people who like American Girl would also like Wendy as well. just because of the history aspect of it. I don't know. It feels similar to me. And speaking of Peter Pan, this is probably more likely for them to do this. That is a Tinkerbell doll. Now, Tinkerbell is a really popular character. They have lots of merchandise for Tinkerbell. She even has her own movie series, which I was a huge fan of when I was a kid. It came out right when I was in that Target demographic. It came out when I was like 8 was the first movie. So I was so into the Tinkerbell movies for a period of time, for a few years, obsessed with Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell is not technically a Disney princess. I feel like people in the comments are gonna probably correct me and all stuff. I'm not a Disney super fan, but I think at one period of time Tinkerbell was classified as a Disney princess. Then she got her title revoked because they came up with, there's like certain rules of what can be a Disney princess, like an official Disney princess line character has to be these specific things, and Tinkerbell didn't fit that anymore. So she's not a Disney princess anymore, and she hasn't been for a while. Probably because they wanted to branch her off so she could do her own Disney Fairies movie series stuff. So that's probably why that happened. Maybe not, I'm just guessing at this point. Because Tinkerbell, they still make a lot of merchandise and dolls and toys for Tinkerbell. I think it's more likely for us to get a Tinkerbell American Girl doll than it is for us to get a Wendy doll, but I still think it would be really cool to see. I know that some people who are fans of American Girl are also fans of Tinkerbell, so I think Tinkerbell would be very successful. Okay, the next Disney doll that I think they should release, and I had to Google her name, but I think that when we talk about Disney princesses and forgotten Disney princesses and things like that, the princess from Atlantis comes up a lot, and I don't know if her name is pronounced Kida. I think it's Kida. I'm not sure. But I'll put a photo on the screen of the character. This character I feel like is really cool, if I remember correctly. I haven't seen the movie in years, but when people talk about Disney princesses or forgotten Disney princesses, she comes up a lot. And so I think that it would be cool if we kind of were expanding the Disney princess line. Now I'm imagining this is all happening after they release a bunch of like the Disney princess dolls, like all of them, and they kind of are like, the line's still popular, so they're just throwing more ideas. So I think that that would be a really cool doll to release. Will they do it? I'm not sure, because I don't think I've ever seen any merchandise for Atlantis ever. So that's kind of a stretch, but I felt wrong not including her in this video. Now the next one might be slightly controversial, and this might cause an argument in my comment section, and I don't mean it to, but Anastasia. Now, pause, okay? I know a lot of you are probably saying Anastasia is not a Disney princess. She isn't, but she kinda is. Listen, when she was created, she was not a Disney princess. Fox was not owned by Disney. So when that movie was created, she was not a Disney princess, and for a long time, she was not a Disney princess. However, with Disney buying the company that made Anastasia, people have wondered, does that mean she's a Disney princess now because she is now owned by Disney? So it's a whole kind of conversation. Now, that was a few years ago. I don't know what the consensus was. I don't know if Disney has released any merchandise for Anastasia. I don't know if they've kind of claimed her as a Disney princess, because for the longest time she wasn't, and I haven't seen her in any Disney princess merchandise or any merchandise at all. So I don't really know if they've kind of claimed her as a Disney princess. But the reason I included her in this video is because wouldn't it be so cool if there was an Anastasia doll, regardless of if she is technically Disney or not? Wouldn't it be so cool? Like, could you imagine that yellow dress that she's in the movie? Like, that would be so cute. And then like that blue dress that she has later in the movie. And I like Anastasia. Like, I have more memories with Anastasia, the Broadway musical that came out a few years ago. Oh my god, is it like 10 years ago now? Oh my god. Oh my god. So anyways, regardless of if she is a Disney princess, if she's not a Disney princess, regardless of that, don't you think she would make a great doll? Like, I think she would just make a great doll regardless. So that's why I include her in this video, even though some hardcore Disney fans might get upset with me in the comments. Just think about it. Wouldn't she be beautiful? I think she would be beautiful. I think it would be kind of cool if they released if the Disney Princess line was very successful, if they released live action versions of the Disney Princess. So like if there was a live action Cinderella doll that you could get, live action Jasmine, Belle, things like that. If you could get the live action versions of the dolls, that would be really cool. Don't know how successful that would be because, you know, a lot of the movies are already out and they have been out for a while, so I don't know, and I don't know if they have too big of a following like the classic cartoons, but if they were looking for more ideas, I think that the live action might be good, just to kind of mix it up a little bit. And I do really love the live action Cinderella. That movie came out when I was a teenager, and I went to go see it for my birthday with my friends, and I loved it. I loved it. My friends didn't love it. But technically when you research it, the start of the Disney live action remakes, a lot of people attribute it to the live action Alice in Wonderland, which is interesting, and the success of that. And then and then the live action Cinderella. This is just my opinion about the live action Disney movies. I'm not the biggest fan of them. I like Cinderella, live action Cinderella, because it feels different from the cartoon. It feels like a reimagining, but some of the newer remakes feel like they're just kind of replicating what was in the cartoon without changing very much. They're just like taking a cartoon and making it live action without really changing it and reinterpreting it into something new and different and fun. And maybe that's just the theater person in me, that like you shouldn't just remake something to remake something. You should, you know, add to the story. Like you shouldn't just make a remake just for the sake of making a remake. Add to it, add to the interpretation, add to the way it looks, the aesthetic, so many different things to go on. So maybe I'm just overthinking it as a theater person. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. I had so much fun making it. I love sharing my opinions about things. So if you have opinions about dolls that you wish American Girl would release, leave it in the comment section below. I would love to hear it. Also, make sure to follow my Instagrams, subscribe to this channel. Also, if you would like to send a donation to this channel, the button is down below as well. So if you would love to send a donation, that would be greatly appreciated. Again, completely optional, no pressure, but I do really appreciate it and it helps me make these videos. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.